Hey everybody, today I wanted to talk to you about running and injuries. Okay, we're going to be putting out 4 different videos. This first one is going to be about injuries, and we're going to be getting on with a bunch of different things, all things running. But today we're going to talk about injuries. Now, I'm not going to talk about all the different kinds of injuries that you can get from running, because in my office I've seen so many different kinds, from the foot all the way up to neck pain. But the big deal is I want to take a look at what is actually causing the injuries. And from my experience, we're looking at 3 main things, okay? You're either trying to be a hero, you have traumatic stress, or it's repetitive stress, okay? Trying to be a hero is really just trying to do too much too fast. You're either going too high of intensity, or you're going from 0 to 60 without even really taking the time to progress. That progression can end up being pretty intense if you don't handle it correctly. So you just want to build up, not slowly, I don't really like the term slowly, but you want to methodically build up your either your pace or your distance or time, okay? That's what trying to be a hero is. The second thing is traumatic stress. This is literally running along and then you end up, tripping over a stick, or you get hit by a car or something. The big thing is that unfortunately these things can happen. So what I like to tell people from a training standpoint is you want to be able to hear everything around you. So a lot of people like to listen to music when they're running, which is good. It kind of helps you decompress, or kind of get out of your own head. But for training purposes, sometimes it's really good to just not do that and just pay attention to the world around you. One of the bigger things is repetitive stress. There's 2 main reasons why you get repetitive stress when we're running. Number 1 is postural imbalance. We have something that we call a forward head carriage, or a upper cross syndrome, which is forward head, rounded shoulders. Okay. We also have a lower cross syndrome, which is where my back ends up tilting up, and then we have this overextension, tight hip flexors, tight hamstring, things like that. No good. The problem with these postural imbalances is that as I'm running, if I'm forward, as I'm running, it's going to be a caricature of what my posture is. So I want to be able to make sure I take care of these postural imbalances before I start running, or be aware of them as I'm running. Otherwise, they just end up creating a lot more stress on your body. With the lower cross, what we're looking at sometimes is that your lower back has a tendency to be overextended. So sometimes people think it's good to be really upright as I'm running, but then what it does is it creates too much extension in my back. So we want to be able to make sure that you know where your spinal neutral position is while you're running, engaging your midline, making sure that my rib cage is being locked down to my pelvis, and then I'm able to maintain that position as I'm running. The other type of repetitive stress that you can get is actually through running incorrectly. If you're running too much onto your forefoot, then it ends up being a tippy toe type of run, or if you are doing a really big heel strike that's putting more pressure into your entire body, into your joints, then that's not going to be good either. So what I like to do is I like to make sure that we can clear out some of those postural imbalances first, either through some mobility or through lifestyle changes. Mobility is relatively easy. I have 2 videos. One video is just how to get rid of spinal tension and just get really loose to be able to play. It is on the floor, so you just got to go ahead and get on the ground, get a little dirty, and then just do that mobility. It takes about 5 minutes to do. The second thing is the 27 squat video. You can go ahead and check that out also. On our next video, we're going to be talking about feet. So mind your posture, mind it while you're running, and change it